In my long years as a researcher and practitioner of the Dharma, I have found that our modern world, so saturated with noise and distraction, has created both a deep hunger for silence and a profound fear of it. We long for a respite from the external and internal cacophony, yet the prospect of sitting alone with our own minds, unshielded by entertainment or activity, can be utterly daunting. The Buddha's path of meditation is a direct and compassionate answer to this predicament. It teaches us that silence is not an emptiness to be feared, but a spaciousness to be explored. It is not a void, but a vibrant and alive field of awareness in which we can finally come to know ourselves. The purpose of this guide is to serve as a wise and trusted friend on this journey. We will proceed slowly, with great care and detail, demystifying the process, exploring the philosophical underpinnings, providing clear and practical instructions, and offering a map to the inner landscape that awaits. This is not merely a guide to a technique, but an invitation to a lifelong journey of self-discovery and the cultivation of an unshakable inner peace. Beginner's Guide to Silent Meditation. Introduction. The Unheard Symphony. We live in an ocean of sound. From the moment we wake to the moment we fall asleep, we are immersed in a relentless stream of noise, the chime of notifications, the drone of traffic, the endless chatter of news and social media, the background hum of appliances. Even more pervasive is the noise within, the incessant monologue of our own thoughts. A restless inner narrator that plans, worries, judges, and remembers, rarely pausing for a moment of true quiet. In this context, the act of choosing to sit in silence can feel radical, even unnatural. Our minds, conditioned for constant stimulation, can rebel against the apparent emptiness of silence. We may feel fidgety, bored, or anxious. The silence may seem to amplify the very mental chatter we were hoping to escape. For many beginners, this initial encounter can be so discouraging that they conclude, "I can't do this. My mind is too busy." This is the first and most important hurdle to overcome, and it is here that the wisdom of the Buddhist tradition offers its most liberating insight. Silent meditation is not a battle to be waged against the mind. It is not an attempt to forcibly stop our thoughts or to achieve a state of blankness. Rather, it is the gentle, courageous, and compassionate art of listening. It is the practice of creating a space of inner stillness that allows us to finally hear the subtle, unheard symphony of our own being, the rhythm of the breath, the sensations of the body, the arising and passing of feelings, and the very texture of our thoughts. The Pali word for this kind of mental cultivation is bhavana. It is a process of becoming, of nurturing, of bringing wholesome qualities into being. Silent meditation is the laboratory in which this cultivation takes place. We are not running away from our life, for the first time. We are turning to face it with a clear and gentle awareness. We are learning to be with ourselves, just as we are, without the need for distraction or escape. This guide is designed to be a comprehensive and compassionate companion for your first steps on this profound path. We will begin by exploring the deep purpose of sitting in silence, moving beyond the simple goal of relaxation to the ultimate aim of liberation. We will then meticulously cover the practical preparations, the outer forms that create a supportive container for the inner work. The heart of the guide will be a detailed, step-by-step instruction in the foundational technique of mindfulness of breathing. We will then provide a map to the inner landscape you are likely to encounter, offering skillful means for navigating the challenges that all beginners face. Finally, we will explore the essential spirit of the practice, the attitude of kindness and patience that transforms it from a rigid discipline into a joyful act of self-discovery. Part 1. The purpose of the path. Why sit in silence? Before undertaking any journey, it is wise to have a clear sense of the destination. While silent meditation certainly brings with it the welcome byproducts of reduced stress and increased calm, its purpose in the Buddhist context is far deeper and more transformative. Beyond relaxation, the goal of liberation, the ultimate aim of the Buddha's path is nibbana, nirvana, the complete and irreversible cessation of suffering, dukkha, and its causes. Silent meditation is the primary tool for achieving this liberation. It is the practical application of the fourth noble truth, the truth of the path, which is the direct remedy for the diagnosis laid out in the first three truths. There is suffering. It has a cause, craving and clinging, and its cause can be eliminated. Silence is the crucible in which this liberation is forged. Why? It creates a laboratory for the mind, in the noisy rush of our daily lives. Our mental habits are too fast, too chaotic, and too entangled with external events to be seen clearly. The external silence of the meditation practice creates a simplified, controlled environment. By reducing external sensory input, the internal landscape, the habitual patterns of our mind, sankharas, becomes magnified and can be observed with unprecedented clarity. It allows us to see the second arrow. The Buddha taught that our suffering is not caused by painful events, the first arrow, but by our mental and emotional reaction to them, the second arrow. A difficult memory arises, first arrow, and then we shoot ourselves with a second arrow of self-judgment, a third arrow of fear, and a fourth of resistance. In the silence, we learn to see this reactive process with mindfulness. We learn to simply be with the first arrow without firing the second. This is a revolutionary skill that fundamentally changes our relationship with pain. It cultivates the twin faculties of awakening. The path to liberation is supported by two essential mental qualities. Like the two wings of a bird, silence is the ideal environment for cultivating both. Samadhi, concentration, the ability to collect the scattered energies of the mind and unify them on a single point. The stillness of the silent practice allows the mind to settle, gather its strength, and become powerful and clear. Sati, mindfulness, the clear, non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. In the silence, with fewer external distractions, we are more able to apply this gentle, observant awareness to the subtle flow of our inner world. Part 2. Preparing the vessel, the outer forms of inner stillness. The inner journey of meditation is greatly supported by creating a container of conducive outer forms. These are not rigid, empty rituals, but skillful means, upaya, for signaling to our body and mind that it is time for this sacred work. 1. Creating a sacred space. You do not need an elaborate shrine, but it is immensely helpful to have a specific place in your home that you dedicate to your practice. Quiet and secluded. Choose a corner of a room where you are least likely to be disturbed. Ask family members or roommates to respect this time. Clean and uncluttered. A simple, uncluttered space helps to foster a simple, uncluttered mind. Keep the area clean and perhaps have your cushion and a shawl or blanket ready for you. The power of intention. The act of setting up and maintaining this space is itself a part of the practice. It is a physical expression of your commitment and respect for the journey inward. 2. The element of time. Consistency over duration. For a beginner, the most important rule of thumb is, consistency is more important than duration. The mind is trained through regular, repeated practice, not through occasional heroic efforts. Start small. Begin with a manageable length of time, such as 5 or 10 minutes. It is far better to sit for 5 minutes every day with a joyful and willing heart than to force yourself through a painful 30-minute session that you will dread repeating. Choose a regular time. Try to practice at the same time each day to build a powerful habit. The early morning is often ideal, as the mind is naturally quieter and the day's concerns have not yet taken hold. However, the best time to meditate is simply the time you will actually do it. 3. The body of meditation. The importance of posture, asana. The posture for silent meditation is not about achieving a pretzel-like contortion. It is about finding a position that embodies the perfect balance between alertness and relaxation. A slumped posture invites sleepiness, a rigid posture invites tension. A good posture is a physical expression of the balanced mind we are cultivating. Sitting on a cushion, zafu, this is the traditional method. The cushion should be firm and high enough to allow your knees to be lower than your hips. This tilts the pelvis forward and allows the spine to maintain its natural curve with minimal effort. Leg positions. You do not need to do the full lotus. The Burmese style, with one foot placed on the floor in front of the other, is stable and accessible for most. The half lotus, with one foot on the opposite thigh, is another option. The key is to create a stable, triangular base with your two knees and your buttocks. Sitting in a chair. This is an excellent and perfectly valid option for anyone who finds floor sitting difficult. Choose a firm, flat-bottomed chair. Sit forward, away from the backrest, so your spine is self-supporting. Your feet should be planted flat on the floor, hip-width apart. If your feet don't reach, place a cushion or a block under them. Your thighs should be roughly parallel to the floor. The details for both postures. The spine. Imagine a string gently pulling the crown of your head towards the ceiling, elongating your spine. It should be upright but not stiff. The hands. Rest your hands in your lap in a comfortable way. A classic mudra, hand gesture, is to place the right hand on top of the left. Palms up, with the tips of the thumbs lightly touching to form an oval. This contains energy and serves as a subtle indicator of your mental state. The shoulders. Relax your shoulders, allowing them to drop back and down, opening the chest, the head and chin. Tuck your chin in slightly, as if you were nodding, yes, very subtly. This aligns the head with the spine. The jaw and mouth. Relax your jaw. Let your teeth be slightly apart. Rest the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth, just behind the front teeth. This helps to reduce swallowing. The gaze. Allow your eyes to gently close. If you prefer to keep them open, let your gaze be soft and unfocused, resting on the floor a few feet in front of you. Part 3. The heart of the practice, the foundational technique of Anapanasati. Now we come to the central doing of silent meditation. With the body settled, we need an anchor to ground the mind. The most universally recommended anchor by the Buddha is the breath itself. The practice is called Anapanasati, or mindfulness of breathing. The breath is a perfect object for meditation. It is always with us. It is always happening in the present moment. It is a natural, rhythmic process that is intimately connected to our physical and emotional state. To be aware of the breath is to be home in the present moment. A detailed step-by-step guide for the beginner. Settling in, the first few minutes, once you have established your posture. Take a few moments to simply be there. Feel the weight of your body, the air on your skin. You might take 2 or 3 slightly deeper breaths, and on the exhalations, consciously release any obvious physical tension. Intend to be fully present for this period of practice. Finding the anchor. Now, allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm, without any force or control. Gently bring your attention to the physical sensations of your own breathing. Choose one location in the body where the sensation is most clear and vivid for you. For many, this is the rims of the nostrils, where you can feel the subtle coolness of the in-breath and the warmth of the out-breath. For others, it is the abdomen, where you can feel the gentle, rhythmic rising and falling with each breath cycle. Choose one of these spots and make it your home base. The core instruction. Bear attention, your task is simple, though not always easy. Rest your attention on the raw, physical sensations of the breath at your chosen anchor spot. You are not thinking about the breath, I am breathing in now. You are feeling the breath. Be curious, what does this in-breath actually feel like? What does this out-breath feel like? Feel the entire duration of the inhalation, from its beginning to its end. Feel the slight pause that may follow. Then feel the entire duration of the exhalation. The great reframe. The wandering mind is not a failure. This is the most crucial instruction for any beginner. Within a few seconds or a few breaths, you will notice that your attention is no longer on the breath. It will have been carried away by a thought, a sound, a memory, or a sensation. This is not a mistake. This is not a sign that you are bad at meditation. This is simply the nature of the untrained mind. The moment you realize your mind has wandered is a moment of profound success. That is a moment of mindfulness, sati, waking up. The true practice of meditation is not found in an imaginary state of unbroken focus. It is found in the gentle, patient, and compassionate act of returning. The process of the gentle return. When you notice the mind has wandered, gently acknowledge, without any self-criticism. Gently and softly note in your mind where the attention went. A simple label like thinking, planning, worrying, or hearing is enough. Gently release. Soften your mental grip on the distraction. You don't need to push it away or suppress it. Simply let it go, like releasing a butterfly you have been holding in your hand. Kindly return. Patiently and kindly. Guide your awareness back to the physical sensation of the breath at your anchor spot. Welcome the breath as if you are returning to a dear and trusted friend. Repeat, with infinite patience. This loop, settling on the breath, noticing the mind has wandered, and gently returning, is the entire practice. You may have to do this 100 times in a 10-minute session. Each and every return is a repetition, that strengthens the muscle of mindfulness and concentration. Part 4. Navigating the inner landscape, a beginner's map to the meditating mind. When we remove external distractions, we are left with the contents of our own minds. For a beginner, this inner landscape can be surprising, confusing, and sometimes challenging. Knowing what to expect is immensely helpful. In the silence, you will meet the habitual patterns of your mind, which the Buddha categorized as the 5 hindrances. Encountering the planning mind, sensual desire, you will sit down to find peace and immediately find yourself composing emails. Planning dinner, or fantasizing about a vacation. Skillful response. Recognize it without judgment. Planning. See it as just a thought, and gently return to the breath. Encountering the critical mind, ill will. You will be disturbed by a noise and feel irritation. More commonly, you will become frustrated with yourself. Why can't I do this? My thoughts are so stupid. Skillful response. Meet this self-judgment with kindness. Soften around the feeling of frustration. Acknowledge it, frustration, and then return to the breath as an act of self-care. Encountering the sleepy mind, sloth and torpor, you may feel a heavy, dull fogginess descend. Your head may start to nod. Skillful response. Straighten your posture. Take a few deeper breaths. You can even open your eyes for a minute. If it's persistent, it is better to mindfully stand up and do a few minutes of walking meditation than to sit there, asleep at the wheel. Encountering the restless mind, restlessness and worry, you may feel fidgety, agitated, and unable to settle. Your mind may be racing with anxious thoughts. Skillful response. Bring a very strong and determined attention to the physical body. Really feel your feet on the floor. Feel the weight of your body. Focus on the long, slow exhalation, which has a natural calming effect. Label the thoughts clearly. Worrying. Encountering the doubting mind, skeptical doubt. You will be plagued by questions. Am I doing this right? Is anything happening? Is this a waste of time? Skillful response. Acknowledge the doubting. Trust the process. For the duration of the sit, gently set aside the analytical mind and commit to the simple, direct experience of feeling the breath. The answers are not found in thinking, but in the direct experience of the practice itself. Part 5. The spirit of the practice, cultivating the right attitude. The techniques of meditation are the what of the practice. The attitude we bring to them is the how, and it is arguably more important. A beginner who practices with a kind and patient heart will make far more progress than an advanced practitioner who is driven by ambition and self-criticism. Kindness and non-judging, metta. Treat your mind as you would a small child or a puppy you are trying to train. When it wanders off and gets into trouble, you don't beat it, you take it gently by the hand, smile, and say, "Let's come back over here." This should be the unwavering tone of your inner dialogue. Patience, Kanti. You are working to transform habits that have been ingrained for decades. This takes time. There will be sessions that feel peaceful and sessions that feel like a wrestling match. Both are valuable. The practice is not about achieving a particular result in any one session, it is about showing up, day after day, with a patient and persistent heart. Curiosity, Vimamsa, bring a spirit of gentle, scientific curiosity to your inner world. Oh, isn't that interesting? There's a feeling of sadness arising. Look at that. The mind just planned an entire trip to the grocery store. This curious attitude creates a healthy distance and prevents us from taking our mental content so personally and seriously. Letting go, Vasaga. Let go of all expectations about what your meditation should be like. Release the desire for a blissful or perfectly calm experience. The paradox is that the moment you stop striving for peace is often the moment it arises. Because you have finally let go of the tension of wanting. Your only job is to be present for whatever is actually happening, not what you wish were happening. Conclusion. The silence that speaks. The journey into silent meditation is a journey home. It is a return to the quiet center that is always present beneath the turbulent surface of our lives. It is not an escape from the world, but a way of gathering the strength, clarity, and compassion needed to engage with the world more fully and wisely. For the beginner, the path can seem daunting. The mind will wander. Distractions will arise. There will be moments of doubt and frustration. This is not a sign that you are doing it wrong. It is a sign that you are a human being. Engaged in one of the most courageous and worthwhile endeavors possible, the training of your own heart and mind. Trust in the simplicity of the practice. Trust in the anchor of your breath. And above all, trust in your own capacity for awareness and kindness. The goal is not to achieve a perfectly silent mind, but to cultivate a mind that is spacious enough to hold both the silence and the noise with an unwavering and compassionate presence. The silence we seek is not an absence of sound, but an absence of resistance. It is the silence of a mind that is finally at peace with itself. This silence, when you learn to listen to it, will teach you everything you need to know.